Hi everyone, my name is Janelle. I'm the creative director here at Thirst. Joining me today is my husband Byron, who is the intern youth director. Today we are on Wednesday, November 30th, and we're still in the week of peace. So this is Isaiah 11, 1 through 3. A shoot will come up from the stump of Jesse. From his roots a branch will bear fruit. The Spirit of the Lord will rest on him, the Spirit of wisdom and of understanding, the Spirit of counsel and of might, the Spirit of the knowledge and fear of the Lord, and he will delight in the fear of the Lord. So this verse is prophesying, this is back in Isaiah, and this is prophesying about who Jesus will be when he comes in the New Testament. So there's in verse 1, you get a little bit, this is prophesying about his genealogy, right? So we get that in verse 1, which it's really important to understand that when you look at his genealogy and where he came from, because that's part of what gives you like the knowledge that, okay, yeah, Jesus is who he says he is, not just miracles that he did, but all the prophecies that were fulfilled in him. And that's one of them. Then in verses 2 and 3, it goes on to really speak about who Jesus is and what he will be like. So this is giving a little bit more of a look into his character. And so when I read this, I just love this whole section in general. But I really love that he will delight in the fear of the Lord. Because a lot of times, I think most of you guys know this, but when you talk about the fear of the Lord, you're talking about this healthy fear, like this desire to rise up and meet someone's expectations because you respect them and love them. It's not this fear like the fear that people have when, you know, they're scared of the repercussions that they might have. Like, right, so if you have had a father or a father figure in your life maybe who could be really intense, it's not that sort of thing, right? This is coming from a place of love, and that's why it says he will delight in the fear of the Lord.
Right. And picking up on that, just knowing that his heart is delighting in that, it kind of brings up to my mind Psalm 1, just having the delight in the law of the Lord, but that this is the character of Jesus, and it's reminiscent to me of, you know, David and how he was one after God's own heart, but like now Jesus, that is God's heart, and this is where he's at. And he will have the Spirit on him of wisdom and understanding and counsel and of might, but then in knowledge, but that all is wrapped up in delighting in the fear of the Lord. And so it's just chasing after, you know, having that own character in your own life. Like, okay, am I someone who's like delighting in these good things that God is calling me towards? You know,
Right.
It's just such a good verse to like know where you should be pointing to and pursuing.
Right. Yeah, when I think of that idea of delighting in the Lord, when I was in high school and I wasn't really doing things I was supposed to be doing, I would still be sitting with these kids and and they would be talking about like why maybe they didn't believe in God or why they didn't like religion or whatever. And a lot of it comes down to like they didn't like being told what to do or having this constraints put around them. And I was like, you guys, you need to remove the idea of the word sin. Right? Because so many of us have grown up with at least a Christian background, whether you adhere to that or not. And so there's this idea of like sin, and it's like this bad word, and it is bad. But what I would always talk about is like God is wanting the best for you. So when he says don't do these things, he is a parent who is loving you well and wanting the best for you, which is why I think that you have these people in the Bible. And then you have Jesus himself delighting in the fear of the Lord, because Jesus knew, like he had that knowledge, and he was, God. So he knew that like these things are the good things in life, right? They're not just things that I need to do to check off a list, which is what he called out with the Pharisees all the time, right? Like it's your heart is what matters. So that is Isaiah 11, 1 through 3. Again, you have those questions at the bottom. If you don't have the Advent booklet, you can get it at thirstwi.com/Advent, or we still have them in the lobby this week if you want to pick one up at the church. All right, guys, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.